Hey, greetings and welcome to this series of videos on what it means to be a Noble CFO. We started out with this discussion with talking about the foundation of being a Noble CFO, and really the foundation being stewardship. We talked a little bit about stewardship, and now I want to talk about what makes up that foundation. So I have talked about in the past many times, I've written about it, is stewardship is based on stewarding profits, people, partners, and places. And this is how you steward a company. So we've talked about stewarding profits, and now we're going to go into talk about stewarding people. I don't think that this is probably an area that is going to be very complicated. However, it is a bit counter business training, at least in the past. We're seeing more and more businesses starting to realize the value of their people, of their employees. Stewardship of people means thinking about employees and taking care of something that's not ours. Business owners, CFOs, and your team, we don't own employees. We are stewarding employees. What that means is we're giving employees autonomy. Autonomy meaning giving them some space and some room to do their job. It is never going to turn out well long term if you have a manager micromanaging people. If you're telling them every step of the way what exactly to do, exactly how to do it, and don't go off script because I'm the boss and this is how you got to do it, is not going to work long term. The motivation is going to be gone for the employee to do well. They aren't going to be thinking outside of this narrow little box, and they're not going to be able to do their job. So giving them space to think about their job, how to implement it best from their perspective, that's giving them autonomy, giving them ownership of their job and what the results are. You also want to give employees a mastery of opportunities. Mastery is learning something very well, becoming a master of what you do. We want to give employees that opportunity. So if you have a accounts payable clerk within your sphere of influence, you want to give them opportunities to master their position, give them the resources, training, the things they need to do to master their position, and then give them opportunities to increasing their skill sets and perhaps working into a different level of organization, which really means getting a mastery of that position, and then they can grow within the company. We want to give employees a sense of purpose. People come to work, they're spending 8 hours a day working, 9 hours if they're taking an hour lunch, and maybe they're commuting or both ways. They're spending 10 hours of their day. We want to give them a sense of purpose. Why are they doing this? It has to be more than I'm working here because I need a job. I need to pay my mortgage and my rent or my electricity and take care of my family. There's got to be more to why they're coming to work for you. Why are they coming to work for this business? What sense of purpose do they have? It's really talking about the vision and mission of the organization. It sometimes seems odd. How can you have a great mission and vision for a company that fixes stuff or sells trinkets? But there is always a reason why that business started. Almost all business owners saw a problem they needed to solve, or a skill set they had, they wanted to expand and serve more people. So this always comes back to that mission of there's a problem that we need to solve in society, and I'm here to help solve that problem. And the sense of purpose that employees can get about solving that problem for the world, for their community, giving them that sense of purpose, helping them understand they are part of this mission. Going along with this, you have to have effective communication. Communicate to employees that they have autonomy, the ability to make decisions about their job. They have the opportunity to learn more about their business. They have this sense of purpose. We've communicated that effectively. We care about them. We want them to succeed. We want them to flourish. We want them to fit in to the overall mission and vision of this company. Bottom line, we have to lead by example. If you aren't leading by example, and I'm talking about if you're a fractional CFO, you're a full-time CFO, if you're the owner, you need to lead by example. People aren't going to do what you say long-term. They're going to do what you do. If you model this type of attitude or example, they're going to follow that. Doesn't matter what you're telling them. You can tell them whatever you want them to do, but they're going to look to you and see what you're doing, and they're going to follow your example. We want to give employees development opportunities and recognition. Again, I've said this many times. People aren't working their job and enjoying it and flourishing in it if all they get out of it is a paycheck. They want to have some recognition. They want to know they've done a good job. I said it to someone the other day. I appreciate what you're doing. Give them recognition for small little things, maybe even just doing their job, what's expected of them. Recognize that. Encourage them. Give them opportunities to develop as a person inside the business, even outside the business. Their passion is perhaps orphanages or humane society. Give them opportunities to develop that. They tie those together, and you've got built-in long-term employees, giving them development opportunities within the company, outside the company, giving them recognition for what they do and how they're doing it. Bring a positive work environment. There's nothing that brings down a team faster than coming with a negative work attitude. You hate to be there, they're going to hate being there. You start negative, pounding on them, yelling at them, getting mad at them. That kind of work environment is going to come back and go against it. It's going to go against the mission and vision of the company. So bring a positive work environment, encouragement, helping employees get over their own disappointments and frustrations and things that may be happening outside of the business. Very important is to have fair and transparent policies. Often you see businesses where a relative or a favorite employee gets special privileges and isn't held to the same level of accountability. Be fair, be transparent about your policies, and be very careful that you're not giving someone an advantage that's not fair. We have employees will give opportunities because they've worked for it. They've been given more opportunities, given more opportunities to grow because they've shown their ability to handle that and desire to take that on. But if it's just giving it because they're a relative or maybe a special friend outside of work, your employees are going to see that very quickly. And it's going to go, again, going to be counteractive to the mission of the business. Finally, we want to look at employee empowerment. And it's very similar to development and autonomy. We want to empower employees to make decisions. We want to have an impact on what we're doing. We want to have a positive impact in this world and on the business. And if we know that we are empowered to make decisions, then we will make good decisions because we want our workplace to grow, giving employees the ability to make decisions. They should be getting input. They should be held accountable for their decisions, but they should be able to make decisions about areas that impact their work environment. That's empowerment. I'm excited about this foundation of stewardship, and there's a couple more pieces we'll talk about in our next video. I want to emphasize for those thinking about becoming a fractional CFO and wanting a structure and an environment to thrive and flourish in that practice, I want you to think carefully about what the Noble CFO stands for. Is that a mission you can be part of? The mission and vision of the Noble CFO is this foundation of stewardship. We'll talk about pillars of values, and we'll talk about an impact in your community, in the business community, an impact perhaps if this movement really gains momentum, we can have an impact on our country and the world. So let's be thinking about, as you go through this series, what would it be like to join this mission? Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I look forward to future conversations with you. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I've written several books about this, and will give you insights into how I think and how this process of being a Noble CFO can impact the world. Thank you again, and we'll talk real soon.